What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, undefeated, newly crowned, 3-belt, unified, welterweight, world champion, superstar boxer, who is widely considered by many to be top 2 best pound-for-pound fighters in the world, and Errol "The Truth" Spence Jr. Errol Spence Jr. is now 28 wins, no losses, no draw, 22 big wins by way of knockout. He is 32 years of age, 5'9.5" with a 72-inch arm reach. With that said, Errol Spence, he weighs in on this upcoming Saturday, June 4th in the United States, June 5th in Australia. Undisputed lightweight showdown between undefeated WBC lightweight world champion, American superstar boxer, Devin "The Dream" Haney, who is 27 wins, no losses, no draw, 15 wins by way of knockout, 23 years of age, 5'9.5" with a 72-inch arm reach, as he takes on undefeated, newly crowned, unified lightweight world champion, Australian star boxer, George Kambosos Jr., who is 20 wins, no losses, no draw, 10 wins by way of knockout. He is 5'9" with a 69-inch arm reach. With that said, he's 28 years of age. The fight is coming up in Melbourne, Australia at Marvel Stadium, okay? So Errol Spence, who stated that he plans on being in attendance for this fight, Errol Spence, he stated that he rewatched and did his homework on George Kambosos Jr., okay, to get familiar with George Kambosos Jr. Obviously, Errol Spence, he stated that he's backing and behind Devin Haney winning this fight. And he said he did his homework and he did his research. And he stated that he most recently watched when George Kambosos Jr. fought against former world champion, superstar boxer Mickey Bay, in which he got a split decision victory in that fight over Mickey Bay. And Errol Spence, he stated that it's a shame, but he's afraid that the judges are not going to give Devin Haney a fair shake, okay? So, Errol Spence is not confident in the judges, and he feels like the judges are going to attempt to take it from Devin Haney, not give him a fair shake, okay? And so this is a worry and a concern of many people, okay? There's many people that are concerned that Devin Haney is not going to get a fair shake. Many people. Okay, they feel like, Devin Haney is going to get the short end of the stick in this situation. They feel like, the judges in Australia, are going to obviously side with their fellow countrymen, and George Kambosos Jr. They haven't had many champions and big name opponents, okay? And so with that said, do they want to relinquish that in one fight? Okay, Errol Spence, he had this to say, quote, he said, "Just watch Mickey Bay versus Kambosos fight." He said, it just gets hard because you don't know if the judges will be on the up and up. It's sad to say, okay, end quote. So that's what, Errol Spence had to say. We know George Kambosos Jr., he shocked the world, okay? He shocked the world when he took on and defeated former unified lightweight world champion, superstar boxer Teofimo Lopez, okay? And he won a split decision over Teofimo Lopez. That was November 27th for 2021, okay? He was the underdog in that fight. Teofimo Lopez, the undefeated unified lightweight world champion. He's the superstar. George Kambosos is relatively unknown. And he shocked the world. In the first round, he dropped Teofimo Lopez, okay? He faced adversity himself in the 10th round. He was dropped in the 10th round of the fight. And he got up, he took back control of the pace of the fight, and he won the fight, split decision. But that was a shocker to many people, okay? It was surprising. It was an upset, right? And so with that said, he's one fight removed from having that success. Now, do he want to go immediately? He's going to go back into his backyard, as the down under, as they call it. He's going to go to Australia and go back home, and now he fights Devin Haney, and they're going to give Devin Haney the benefit of the doubt in one fight. So he's defended his title one time and loses it. Now they have a rematch clause where Devin Haney wins the fight. He has to automatically, immediately give George Kambosos Jr. immediate rematch in Australia again. Okay. And so with that said, you know, you have to think, now they have 3 judges, and the judges are not from Australia. Okay. They look to find, 3 neutral judges in this situation, to be as fair as possible. Okay. And so with that said, you have to ask yourself, okay, stranger things have happened in the sport of boxing, stranger things. Okay. And we've seen the situation between Manny Pacquiao, legendary 8-division world champion, iconic Filipino superstar boxer, Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao. He was the champion. He faced off against Jeff Horn in Australia. Jeff Horn is a former world champion from Australia. And Manny Pacquiao, he faced Jeff Horn in Australia. And many people, including myself, thought that Manny Pacquiao won the fight. There was a point in time in the fight where Manny Pacquiao was on the verge of stopping Jeff Horn. But Jeff Horn, he weathered the storm. He was able to finish the fight on his feet. And the judges saw that Jeff Horn was victorious. Okay. This led to well-renowned Hall of Fame trainer and boxing pundit and analyst and Teddy Atlas going into an absolute rant. Okay. Teddy Atlas, he lost it. He completely lost it. He went into an absolute rant after that. He wasn't happy, and he no longer worked for ESPN after that. Okay. This is with ESPN top ranking Bob Arum as well. So obviously this is Devin Haney. He's with ESPN top rank and Bob Arum as well. Okay. And so with that said, you have to think, is the judges going to be on the up and up? It's hard to say because, again, the quote unquote, we have 3 judges that are neutral judges that are not from Australia, and they're going to call it like they see it, call it down the line. But you just have to think, behind the scenes, right? George Kambosos Jr. is a champion in Australia. Okay. They haven't had many big name Australian superstar world champions. He's a unified champion. This is an undisputed match. History is in the making, okay? Because there's never been a 4 major sanction belt, unified, undisputed, Ring Magazine lineal champion in the lightweight division, okay? So history is on about to be made, okay? History is on the line. And so United States, we have tons and tons and overwhelming amount of successful world champion, undisputed champions here in the United States. That's not the case in Australia. So will they look at this situation and say, okay, this is a situation, a scenario where they want history to be on the side of Australia, to finally they get a champion that's undisputed and somebody they could look at and they could look, forward to, and they could say, history's made. We got a lightweight. The lightweight division is a glamour division in sport of boxing. The 4 glamour divisions, in my opinion, and historically speaking, is the lightweight division, the middleweight division, the heavyweight division, and the welterweight division. Okay, so those are the 4 glamour divisions in the sport of boxing. Again, the welterweight division, the lightweight division, the middleweight division, and the heavyweight division. And as the heavyweight division goes, so goes the sport of boxing. It completely carries the sport, especially when it's at an all-time high, okay? And so this is a glamour division that will have, for the first time, a 4 major sanction belt lineal world champion. And Australia has never had that. The United States, we have it a dime a dozen, okay? And so is this a situation that Errol Spence is speaking of and saying, listen, this is weary, right? We don't know, unfortunately, what's going to happen. Like Errol Spence stated, once again, quote, he said, just watch the Mickey Bay versus Kambosos fight. It gets hard because you don't know if the judges will be on the up and up. Sad to say, what he means by the up and up is mean that are they going to be on an even playing field? We just recently saw a 4-division world champion, Mexican superstar boxer, who's currently the undisputed super middleweight world champion, widely considered the face of the sport of boxing, top 5 pound-for-pound best fighter in the world, in Saul Canelo Alvarez, who is now 57 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws, 39 wins by way of knockout. He took on undefeated WBA light heavyweight world champion, Russian superstar boxer Dmitry Bivol. And very weirdly, all three judges had all the scorecards identically the same. Say it to you again, this is historic. It's never happened in the sport of boxing, where you had all four judges in agreement on every single round, sitting at multiple different angles. That's almost impossible because they're not sitting at the same angle, so they're not going to see the same fight. But yet, all three judges gave the first 4 rounds to Canelo. All three judges gave the next 4 rounds to Bivol. All three judges saw the 9th round to Canelo, and all three judges saw the last 3 rounds go to Bivol. That's very odd. Okay, that's not a coincidence. And so with that said, when you have things like that take place in the sport of boxing, we watched Canelo Alvarez face off against legendary, retired, iconic Hall of Fame superstar boxer Floyd Mayweather. And Floyd Mayweather essentially win every single round, not even a debate to Canelo Alvarez himself. But then you saw one of the judges say they saw it as a draw. When Canelo Alvarez admitted he got taken to school, and he stated, even when the card was announced that it was a draw, Canelo Alvarez himself said, that's not right. That's wrong. Something is wrong. That's not right. But yet, this was the scorecard. So anything can happen in the sport of boxing. I personally think that in this fight, that Devin Haney is just a better boxer. I think he's a better talent. And I think he's going to put it all on display. And he's going to show a separation in talent and skill set and a gap. He's going to dominate the fight. And I think that the judge is going to have a hard time not leaning in his favor. So let's see how this unfolds and plays out. But that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Hit the bell icon to get all the new notification. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all in one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share your videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.